Okay, so after kind of going over this, I am going to take out that heater core box. I'm just going to delete it. I don't even use it anyway, and I'm going to order an electric heater. It's 9 by 9 by 4 inches, so that'll give me tons of room to work with up in there. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete this, put a plate up front. This will give me a little more room up in here, because I'll take out this and this fan here, so I'm going to take that out. And then these hoses, I'll just wrap a hose, just goes from here up to here, you know, for my water pump. So my water pump up just to here, and just eliminate the heater core and everything. And that should drop me, I don't know, maybe 10 pounds, maybe at least, because I know these boxes are kind of heavy. I was thinking of going with like a vintage air setup or something like that, but it's convertible. You know, I can always install vintage air later on, but like last summer, it didn't bother me. Just put the top up if it gets too hot, you know, and the windows down. I mean, what's the point of having a convertible? Maybe on long trips it might be uncomfortable, but that's a great thing. I can always change it when I get to it, you know, and change it how I want. Yeah, but for now, definitely that heater core is coming out. And I'm sure they have smaller options for AC too. If I do like the evaporator and stuff inside, I'm sure they have something smaller that I can just run the AC lines to instead. I'll do more research on that later on, but yeah. But for now, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take out that heater core box. All my vacuums disconnected anyway, so you know, nothing works with the vacuum. And I think there's a little vacuum actuator or something in there. And I didn't use it at like I said, the heat. Did use it once this winter. I don't really drive this car when it's not good weather anyway, so the wind's blowing again. It's kind of a good chill. I don't think I'm gonna give it to my dash. I'm not feeling 100% today, so I just wanted to kind of give you an update of what I'm gonna do. Maybe if I get a little more energy, I'll come out and do it, but I'm just not really feeling it today. All right, so that's my next step. All right, so yesterday I just was not feeling it, and the wind was blowing. Wind's blowing again today. For 3 weeks, this stupid wind's been blowing. It's making things real difficult. So anyway, I'm going to tear out my dash, put in the new dash, and I'll do the kick panels today, at least hopefully, if everything goes smoothly. And then maybe if I got time, I'll take out that heater core box. I already got an electric heater coming, way smaller, less weight. The only reason I'm putting in a heater box is in case it rains, I get stuck in the rain or whatever. That way I have a defroster and a little bit of heat. And for a small car like this, that'll be fine. I only drive fairly short distances anyway, so you know, if I ever do go on a long trip, it's going to be during the nice weather anyway. So all right, that's what we're going to try to do today, is get that dash replaced and speakers in the kick panels. All right, so this is what we have back there right now. Looks like a 4x6. It actually might be bigger, I don't know. I'll measure it when I get it out, but old looking speakers. We're going to take that out and try and fit up the new one. So, all right. Okay, while we're down in here, let's take a look Turn up this light. Not too bad. I'm gonna vacuum that out. But overall, not really a whole lot of rust. I'm gonna vacuum that out just to clean it up a little bit. So you can kind of see my bird cage is in pretty good shape overall. So, but I'll vacuum that out, clean it out while I'm here. And then, all right, here's the back of the speaker that was originally in there. I don't know if this is, it's a 10 ohm speaker. This looks like it might be original. It actually has the quick connect, which I just might reuse if I can, but with new wiring. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I got and what they got. All right. Problem 20,502. My measurements were wrong when I purchased these. So I can cut this. Now, do I want to? I'm not sure. I'm gonna measure one more time because that goes right up against, you know, that pillar there. But I can cut that out and it will be really close to fitting. I'm just afraid that if I do cut it, it still won't fit. And I can notch this just a little bit too to make it fit, because the way it sits is it has, let's see here, see if I can. So this end would be towards this, so I'd get that little end there, and then these two ends would fit within there. I'm going to take the measurement a couple more times before I do any cutting, because I want to make sure. See, that's where they have that little pinch weld. So I want to make sure I'm not going to screw anything up there before I do that. So I'm going to take measurements real quick. We'll make it work either way. We might have to build a bracket out, and the speaker will be facing forward, and I'll have to use the speaker grill maybe. I don't know. Let me take measurements and we'll go from there. Okay, so by cutting it, it does fit, but the problem is now the magnet on the back is touching the bolts to the door, because that's a little deeper than I thought. But we're really close. I mean, we only got that much. I can wiggle it a little bit to where this end kind of goes in a little bit further, and then the back end comes out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it placed in there, screw it down, and then I'm gonna take this panel, because it almost goes over. I mean, it's super close. It's super close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut down right through here and then bring it out just a little bit, and then that should give me clearance. So what I'm gonna do is, because this is old junk anyway, so I can always buy a new one. So what I'm gonna do is just cut down right down the middle, and then bring it out a little bit, put some kind of fiberglass or maybe a plastic molding or something, just to bring it out, you know, just 1/4 of an inch. So super close, but we're almost there. All right, so we got the speaker in there, and what I did is I just cut a little slit along there. So now what I need to do is I need to put some type of fiberglass or you know, or some type of reinforcement plastic. I don't know, I'm gonna look into it. But so that gets me to where I need to be right there. put that back into place. That way I can build something that'll look okay right there, even if I just come down, and that'll get me my space I need. So, all right. Okay. So kind of have an idea. It's not moving at all. So see how I have it sticking up. It doesn't hit any of the metal or anything, so it'll be fine. Yeah, we're gonna be just fine with that. All right. So that speaker fits in there. It's not moving. I'm gonna build that bracket up a little bit. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It is tight right there. The bolts, the reason it's kind of sticking out on the bottom is because of the door bolts are holding it in, you know, on the magnet. So, but it does fit. Once I get that fiberglassed in, and then we'll tear this all apart, do the other side, and then change out the dash. So this is quite the project. This took a lot longer because I have to figure out what I need to do. So now the other side definitely won't take as long. So let me fiberglass that side up. I need to go get some resin. I'm going to take this all apart. The heater core probably going to come out today too. And then when I get the plate, I can just put the plate back there. So I mean, since I'm right here, I might as well take it out. So, or the heater box, actually. The thing's huge. Okay. So that's going to be the test fit. I actually only need a 1/2 inch. I'm going 1 inch. I'm using the screwdriver just to pry it up 1 inch. So then I'm going to dab some fiberglass resin on top. I'm going to do 1 pad on the top and then 3 on the bottom, and then once that sets and hardens up, then I'll go in and fill in this crack here. Since I'm here, I want to show you this old speaker. I mean, that's disgusting. I mean, look, I don't even know how that paper cone was shot. Look at this. That paper is just destroyed. So that's what an original speaker looks like. 10 ohm speaker. Anyway, that's where it goes. All right, so let me get this fiberglassed up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you want to put a little bit of resin down first, and then all you do is just come up along the top and dab out all those little air bubbles. Happy trees, happy trees. No. A little Bob Ross get in there. So see how we got that. Okay, so then I'll flip it over and I'll do the same thing with another sheet, and then I'll put one on the inside, some resin on the inside of it, and that way it'll stick. That way it'll be on both sides. And then once it sets, then I can go ahead and sand it down both ways. Well, just on this side really, to get nice and smooth. But you do want 1 or 2 sheets maybe on one side just to get a nice firm hold. So now I'm going to flip it over, do the other side. Alright, so I'm just going to have to do one side at a time. When trying to do the back, all it's doing is pushing this back out. So I'm going to let that harden and settle. That gives me the shape I need. So from there, then I can go back in, reshape it, you know, and then go from the back. And then that way I can just take, that should be enough to hold it once this dries and hardens. So I'll be able to take the screwdriver out and then just fiberglass the rest up. So I'm just going to try and push that down just a little bit on that corner, but other than that, it'll turn out okay. Okay, while that sits and dries, I'm going to take out the center console and the other side of this dash here and see if I can get that upper dash out and get that new one in. Shouldn't be too hard now that the gauges and everything have that single plug, and all I have to do is just drop the steering wheel real quick, and that should give me enough room to pull that out, enough to where I could just pull the dash out. I won't have to drop the whole thing. Okay, there we go. All right, it's out. I'm not the type to brag, but I'm getting pretty good at tearing this dash in and out. One problem I had is this section right here. This bolt right here is just stripped out, so I couldn't get it loose, but I was able to get this loose enough right here to be able to slide it out. All right, so here's the old dash. So all I'm going to do is just take this vent off and then put it on the new one, and then install the new one in. All right, the new one went in just super easy, but it's more flexible too. See, like I can move it up and down. It's just more bendable. I'm going to clean up everything, get all these little joints and stuff first before I put everything back together. Okay, few things to note. This bar will stay out. It will not work with speakers in it. I think this was only a 69 option anyway, 68, 69 option, because the other ones don't have bars. So that has to stay out. Let me show you how tight with the speakers and everything are in there. They look good. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, you got the speakers, and then you got my let's see if I can zoom out. There we go. So see, that bar will not work with it. And then on this side, fits nice snug right there. All right, cleaned up a lot of those wires and everything, keep them away, so that way it's plug and play when I get over that corner. And then when I redo my wiring here, I can just work on this and plug straight into the speakers later on, as they'll be RCAs and all that other stuff. So I just want to show you how tight it is underneath there, but it does open up some more room without that bar. Might make things actually easier to get to. I'm going to run my connection, of course, before I put my dash in. That way it's hanging, and then I can hook up my speaker to it when I get the speaker down in this corner. I'm still waiting on my fiberglass to dry. It's still tacky, so I'm going to wait quite a bit for that. I might be able to actually do the other side. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, got the back. So got to run and pick up my daughter from school. So we'll let that sit, and that should be able to hold on tight on both ends. And then I can clean it up a little bit once it's hard and dry. So, and then we still got to finish that, of course, that little crack where my screwdriver's pressing in between. So once we get that, we'll let that sit for probably all night. Well, anyway, so there we are. I'll start putting a few things back on there. I'm not going to put the dash and everything. I got to get to that speaker first. That's going to go in the corner, the kick panel. Just because I need as much room as possible, so I want it to do it with the dash out. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay. So my front fiberglass piece fell off. Looks like it's pulling the paint off. So I'm just going to let it sit. I'm going to let it sit all night then. See where it goes from there, because maybe if I do the back first, just let it sit. Because I don't know if this is going to hold or not. Might have to think of something different if this doesn't work. If this doesn't hold, then I'm going to have to do something else. I'd hate to use that JB Weld plastic stuff, but I don't know. We'll see what this one does. Okay, so that's nice and tough. So I'm going to redo the front. I just got home. I had to run to the bookstore and all this other stuff for my kid for her school, so it dried up quite nicely while I was gone. So I'm going to do that. I'll put this together tomorrow or the next day or whatever. I'm just running out of daylight. I'll try and do a little here and there. But that's the life. Always running out of time. All right. I'm going to see if I can finish this up at least. Thanks, guys.